All right, Rippers, are you ready? All right, this one is for our brothers and sisters out there being the storm warriors. That's what we're going to call them, storm warriors. You are not alone. You are in our thoughts and prayers. We are thinking and praying for you to get some warm weather, to be safe, and to be able to overcome and prepare for your situations. It sounds like you may have a round 2, but I know that you guys are good for a round 10, right? You got this thing beat. It's never going to get to round 3. That being said, I want to show you a little tip on what you can build for next to nothing that will not only produce you with light, but it will produce you with heat in a relatively safe manner, and it will give you something to do to keep your mind off of things and to keep busy. That's important. Keep your mind busy, right? My mind's busy all the time. There's people talking back and forth at each other in there and thinking up ideas and looking at plans and all kinds of stuff, right? So I'm going to keep you busy too. So what we've got are just some normal pots, right? Normal pot like this, right? Just a clay pot. Now, we've got some tea lights. I think that's what they call these things. Tea lights, right? Yeah, tea lights. I don't know why. I tried to make tea out of them. It don't taste good. It tastes like wax. Anyway, we're just going to light this one right here just because I like to play with fire. No, just kidding. We're going to toss her down in there and just see what that does. Now, that's not the trick. That one I don't think will work as well as what I'm about to show you. Now, what I did is I got the bases. These were just over 50 cents or so for the base. And I drilled myself a hole in there. Now, don't worry about it. If you just take a regular old mason bit or something and take your time drilling through it, or heck, you can even do it with a screwdriver, because that's what I did. I got the hole started with a Dremel tool, and then I hollowed her out with a screwdriver, right? Different sizes until I had the right size hole so that I could put this all thread through it. Now, what all thread is in your electrical section of your Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever. And you want to get, that's about I think that's a 6-inch length or so right there. And you'll see that it is hollow, but has threads all around it. So what you can do is you thread a nut and a washer on that end, right? And you push it through here. And then you put a nut and a washer all the way down on this end. And then you take your EDC, right? Your everyday carry, whatever it may be, Leatherman or whatnot, and you tighten down these nuts, right? You just get a hold of it or give her tight, right? And now that's part of the job, right? So then what you do is you take the pot and you drill a hole in it, same way, right? Get it so that it fits on here. Now, what I've done is I've already pre-marked it right there, but this is a coupler. What joins two pieces of all thread. But you don't want to do that. You just want to take this thing and screw her on down. Now we're going to light something else here real quick. Okay. You just want to take, because I like fire. Anyway, you just take and run this thing down until you're about there, right? So you got about 3/8 of an inch right here of the thread up above it, right? And if you kept your hole tight enough, if not, you can use a washer and let this down a little bit more. But if you got your hole tight enough, you just slide her on there like this, and then you get this right here. Now, all of these metal parts cost me like $3 or $4, okay? You can go to Lowe's. They'll have a kit that has all these parts in it with the exception of the all thread. So they'll have the nuts and the loop thing here, the cap on here, and all that. And then you just get a thing of all thread. There'll be 2 pieces in it. That was a couple bucks. So you just take this and you just screw her on the top like that, right? And now you got a bird feeder. Just kidding. We're not interested in feeding birds. We're interested in making light and heating up the home. So I went down to Wally World, my favorite place. They should sponsor me. Those of you who said that, you're right. Doggone it. I ought to talk to them. Doggone Wally World. They'll probably just give me $3.95 a video. Anyway, just kidding. I got me 100 pack of tea lights for like $3.50 or so, right in that range, right? That's pretty darn good. There's 100 of them. So you can get a lot of fuel for very little, right? So I took 3 of these and put them around here, spaced evenly apart in this, and then I'll just light them, right? And now we have a little lantern that'll produce light all the way around that we can hang somewhere. Now, don't leave them unattended. This isn't something you want to light and go away with unless it's in a very safe area that doesn't have any combustibles around it, right? And you can set this down on top of something too, like bricks and whatnot like that. But keep an eye on this because that is an open flame and it can catch fire. Trust me, I know. So that being said, I'll let this one sit. Now, we had this one going with no top on it. This is a laser beam. Anyway, it's a phaser. For those of you Star Trek people, right? Okay, no, what this is, it's a heat gun. And I'm going to take and put that on this thing here. And this pot is it's 65 degrees at the bottom. And it's like 67 degrees, 68 degrees right around this area, right? That's not really that warm. But while we've been talking, I had this single burner one. Look at that. That's a cute one. Do it the same way, except you just off-center the hole. So that way you can put the T-lamp under the main part of this small one. But that's just a one-burner, cute little guy, right? And you could decorate these, too, with your kids. Keep their minds going, right? So that they're not so worried and scared. If you're doing crafts, they'll think there's nothing to worry about because you have it under control, right? You got to think of the multifaceted thing we got going here, right? It does all kinds of things. Decorating this would be a great idea, right? You can do puffy paints and all that kind of stuff, beads and sparkles and bling it out, right? Right. Okay. Yeah, I know it's scary. I know about all that stuff, but I do have kids. Anyhow, let's measure this one, right? Okay. So what we got here is at the bottom of the cone. This sucker's at like about 100 degrees, okay? Now, at the top, this thing is at, 112 to 115 degrees, right? It's bouncing back and forth. Let's see right at the top. Right at the top, that thing is like 130 degrees, right? So, it hasn't been burning all that long. I did this the other night, and this thing got up to like a constant throughout this whole thing as it gathers and holds heat, because this pot will hold heat because it's ceramic, right? As it gathers and holds that heat, it got up to like 135 degrees, pretty steady. And you can feel it too. If your hands were cold, you could just put them like this around this, and you can feel the heat. It really does work, okay? And you can close this distance here too to trap more heat if you just want less light and more heat. So that being said, let's measure this one. Now it hasn't been lit very long, but let's just see what we're doing. Let's see. Well, we're already at 128 degrees, 130 degrees right there. At the top, we're already at 170 degrees right there. Let's see what it is at the top. Well, we're basically at 175 degrees at the top. Now, last night when I was testing this one, it got up pretty even at about 190 degrees, right? That's pretty darn good for 3 little tea lights. And watch out, that sucker's hot. I just found out. Right there. Use gloves or a hook, right? But, man, I can feel the heat. I can still feel it that far away. Really, I can, right? So this baby's hot. So, how is that for creating heat? If you were to go and get you 5 pots and 5 bases of this size especially, but get yourself 5 of each size and sit down at the table while you're keeping warm in one room that you've got blocked in, right? And you could create those and hang them around off of lamps and things like that, your light fixtures like this one here, right? You could hang that right off of there. Look at this. Watch this. Will it fit? It won't quite fit, but if you got yourself some wire, you could hang it right off of that, right there. That's a light right there. Anyway, You get what I'm saying? You can hang these things around, and before long, you've got some heat going in the house as well as light to see by so you don't bump into everything. I really hope that helps everybody. I hope you enjoyed making it with me, because I enjoyed making it with you. Be sure to put your comments down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Tickle that little bell. And thank you for all the support and helping me be able to help others. That's what it's about for me. So be sure to read the description area. I got an email in there, other information, and share it. Please share it. I want this kind of stuff to get out to everybody, because I've got some people from Texas, and especially you Texans, share it with all your friends on all your social media, because we need to help you in any little way we can. If I could, I would fly down there right now and help even more. But this is my little way of saying that I love you and I'm thinking about you all. Until the next video, adios.